Rusty, meanwhile, went up the old bridge too. The trucks banged him hard and he fell over onto his side. "Help!" called Rusty. "Help!" "Don't worry," said Gordon. "I got it." But it was slipperier than expected. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Gordon suddenly came off the track and crashed right into the Duke's flour bed. The whole train followed behind. The last two cars of the train were still on the line, but meanwhile, Gordon and the rest of the train were in heavy damage. And instead of thinking of all the other passengers, instead of himself, he pulled right out so that the express coaches were under Boulder, and Boulder fell right on down on top of them. "Oh dear," said Thumper, "look what you've done." The express coaches were dented, and many of the windows were broken. "Fine," said Freddie, "I'll do it," but it was too late. Freddie crashed right into the trucks and he fell off the track. He was carrying too many packages, and one giant wave tossed him right over into the sea. They were never seen again. "Oh dear, Butch, it looks like we have our first problem. Mavis is off the track over there. Could you go get her back on?" "Certainly, Officer Murdoch," laughed Butch. "There's Gordon, who's pulling the express." "Oh dear, and it looks like there's been a terrible accident here. Oh, silly Billy. Messing up the track so that Gordon can't get back. I must go save him," said Murdoch. Just then, Hank bumped into the brakeman so hard, it fell right off the track. "You trucks be quiet," he said. Hank give them a good bumping, and Hank did. Just a little too much, though, and the brakeman in the last freight car fell off the track. "Hey, what's happening?" he said. Why am I moving backwards?" "Now!" cried the freight cars, and Diesel went backwards right onto the turntable. "Oh," said Diesel. "Ouch!" He came up and he bumped the brakeman a little too hard. "Oh," said Rusty. His front wheels were tipping off the line. "Help!" said Rusty. "Help!" "What's the matter?" called his driver, but Smudger began pushing the train. "I'm coming off the track! Whoa, whoa!" And Rusty tumbled off. "Ouch," he said. But Gordon was so busy chattering to himself that he accidentally pushed the freight cars right into the ocean. "Uh-oh," said Gordon. "That's not good." As he came zooming down the hill, the tracks were covered with water. "Ah," said James, "I can't stop. Help, help." James rushed down the hill so fast, they didn't have time to stop for the drawbridge. "Uh-oh," said James, "this isn't good." And it wasn't. James went right up, and he splashed right down into the water. "Help!" called James. "Help! Wait, Bulstrode, don't back up." But it was too late. Bulstrode did, and he hit James right off the track. "Ouch!" said James. "What was that for?" "Sorry," said Bulstrode. "I didn't see you." "Fine," said the Diesel. "I'll just run over you." "Really?" said the Flying Scotsman. "Try." The Diesel backed up, and he raced at the Flying Scotsman. But right when he hit him, he fell right off the track. "Oh, man," said the Diesel. "Ha-ha," said the Flying Scotsman. "That's the power of two tenders." At that moment, Diesel rushed at him and knocked Toad into the ocean. "Hey," said Bowler, "that is our job." Toad swung around and stuck to the other side, but that didn't stop Diesel from pushing the rest of them in. "Ah!" they cried. "Hey, what was that for? Why did you?" But the rest of their words were drowned by the water. The coach raced around the bend and crashed right into Neville. It knocked him off the rails. "Ouch!" called Neville. "Ooh, that hurt." "Oh no, the big wreck!" "Ah!" Molly quickly diverted into a siding and crashed into everything. They had almost been completed moving the stuff off the tracks, but now it was ruined. Max turned around, and as Harold was flying through the air, he launched his gravel at him. It came zooming through the air. Whoa! And it banged right into Harold. Whoa! And Harold was out of control. Whoa! And he smashed right into the house. "I have an idea. Watch this." Monty roared up to between the coupling, and he put his front wheels on the track. He ended up tipping the trucks over. "Hee, nobody saw me," he said. The two engines ran around and they crashed right into the oil depot. Oil was spilled everywhere, including over Thomas, Whiff, and Stanley. "Hey, Hank, surprise!" Hank was still snoozing, so he didn't notice, and then one of the packages crashed into Hank. The contents spilled all over him. "Ouch!" cried Hank as he was knocked off the rails. "Ugh, soap! What's this all in here? Hey, Arthur, watch out!" Whoa, whoa! Arthur managed to get off the rails just in time, but the package crashed right into Hank. "Ew!" cried Hank. "It's full of water." "Oh, no!" Spencer looped around the bend. And he came to his first stop sign. Bow! "Oh, ouch!" he said. And he ran along the line, more of them. Ow! Ow! Finally, Spencer reached the brick wall. Fast as you can, called Rickety. On! Giggled the freight cars from the troublesome brake van. No! Cried Spencer, and he crashed into the brick wall. He hit the brick wall so hard that the coupling snapped. The trucks were left on the line. But Spencer had been going so fast, he wheeled himself all the way to the shed. On three, said the driver. 1, 2, 3. Freddie jolted forward, just a little bit, but it was enough to make the brake van fall to the ground. Luckily, it wasn't hurt, and the conductor was in one of the cars. Toby didn't know what to do. Suddenly, he hit something. Ow! Whoa! Oh! And he landed on his side. Ouch, he said. That hurt. Mavis was shunting some quarry cars. Stanley decided to sneak up on her. Hey, Mavis, he called. Do you have any? Whoa! Cried Mavis, and she crashed into the buffers at the end of the line. Uh-oh, she said. That's going to take a while to clean up. Lori's flatbed had gotten stuck. Stupid flatbed, he muttered. Hey, Wilbur, could you? Hey, wait! Wilbur smashed right into him, and Lori was turned on his side. Hey, you come back here. You've spilled everything all over the place. Get back here! And you went over and picked it up, but it was extremely heavy. Whoa! said Colin as he teetered back and forth and crashed onto the track below. Ouch! called Colin. Hey, what was that for? Take this, he said. And he swung the package right into Cranky. And he smashed right on down on the China clay cars. Oh no! called the engines. Unfortunately, however, the coaches didn't make it around the bend. When they came to it, they went right off the track. And they strayed into a field. But trouble struck. Since Jack was gone, Alfie had to load the dirt instead. When his excavator hit Monty, he fell over and took Max with him. As Percy came around the bend with Elsbridge Station in sight, his front wheels slipped off the rails. Suddenly, Percy was stuck. Luckily, the coaches were upright and well, and so in the morning, Donald arrived to take them to the station. But the two dump trucks were so focused on the race that they didn't care who was in their way. They plowed through Madge's flatbed, tipped over Jack's stack of gravel, made Butch swerve and hit Lori, and distracted Byron so that he ran into the foundation. Boulder came tumbling down. After going on a wild rampage, Boulder finally came to rest after running over Terrence and Trevor. But the damage had been done. As Sir Topham Hatt and Monty raced away, Max spun out of control. Ah! He yelled. He tipped over and was stuck. He drove so low, however, that he lost control and spun up and hit Sir Topham Hatt. Sir Topham Hatt then crashed into Max. Max rolled over and landed right side up, but he had no idea where Sir Topham Hatt was. Oh well, said Max, I have a race to win. Never mind that, but as he sped off, he didn't know something very important. Sir Topham Hatt had flipped upside down and was now sitting in the back of Max. But his fender caught the rear end of Monty, and it turned him into Sir Topham Hatt. Sir Topham Hatt spun out of control, while Monty spun and hit a rock and flipped over. The two racers were less than 50 yards from the line when Max suddenly turned right. He clipped the rear end of Sir Topham Hatt, and Sir Topham Hatt went spinning out of control. He was going so fast, though, that the air got underneath the car and picked it up off the ground. Sir Topham Hatt's car twisted in the air before landing down on its side. The door dug into the ground, and Sir Topham Hatt rolled over many times. Max made it to the line first, but Sir Topham Hatt shortly followed. The next day was just the same. Bulstrode was miserable, and it didn't help that when he was going under the drawbridge, a random cargo car came up and smashed down all the packages. Hey, what was that for? Said Bulstrode. The passengers jumped out of the way just in time. I came zooming around the bend and smashed into it. The coach shattered upon impact, and since we were on a viaduct, the whole train came tumbling down after me. When Billy began shuttling them toward the water, they knew something wasn't right. Soon, the trucks realized what was going to happen. No, they cried, no, but it was too late. They all went thundering down into the ocean. By the time it was all over, the trucks were sunk. But the two engines wouldn't get away that easily. On, yelled Scruffy, and the trucks pushed Percy down the line. The trucks made Percy collide with Billy, and suddenly the two engines were being pushed all the way around the docks. "Whoa," warned Billy. Watch the edge, guys!" But it was too late. Just as they had done to the trucks a few moments before, Percy and Billy crashed into the ocean. Luckily, the truck stayed on the track. He was almost to Ellsworth Station when he hit a bad section of the track. The gravel came tumbling out. He was about to pick it up when suddenly Dennis came speeding around the bend and crashed into it. "Hold on," he said crossly. "I'm getting it." But he bumped the cars too hard, and they ran off the siding into a ditch. Smudger didn't know it at the time, but his big bump he gave the trucks had made the first car's wheels come off the track. They were now dangling over the side dangerously. As he continued to push the trucks up the hill, they slowly began to fall off the edge. Smudger felt like the trucks were pulling him up the hill, so he let them continue. When he had nearly reached the top, however, he realized that the trucks were being pulled off the viaduct. "Oh no!" he cried. "The trucks!" He pulled back sharply to save the last 3 trucks from falling off. But they were cross that Smudger had pushed the other trucks off the viaduct, so they pushed him down the hill. "Faster, faster!" they yelled. "Pay him out! Pay him out!" As they reached the bottom of the hill, disaster struck. Smudger was dazed and surprised. He couldn't believe that 3 tiny slate cars had pushed him down the hill. "Oh no!" he cried. "I'm going to crash into the buffers!" Just then, Duck's face was buffeted with wind, and his front wheels lifted into the air. Soon, the whole train was being pushed upward by the oncoming wind. Duck soared over the buffers, but the trucks that hadn't gone airborne smashed into them. The mess that followed was terrible. It was one of the worst accidents the island of Sodor had ever seen. Trucks lay everywhere, and Duck was dazed and surprised. He couldn't believe what had just happened. Unfortunately, George's mistake would cost Stepney big time. He was pushing some fuel tankers to the scrapyard when his train suddenly came off the line and crashed into the shed. "Whoops," said Stepney. "I guess I'll have to go and get the breakdown train." He left the train and went to go find it. Just then, James came down the line in the opposite direction with his cracked tar tanker. He was taking it to the works to be repaired. Just like Stepney, his tanker ran off the track and crashed. "Grrr," said James. "This section of the track is giving me a hard time today."
One of the gates started to work. The workmen had got it working again. "Bother," said Bulgy. He had to slow down, therefore couldn't make it across the siding in time. "Whoa, watch out!" Duck went on, and without even knowing it, his trucks crashed on top of him. "Ouch!" called Bulgy. "I'm flattened!" And he was. But suddenly there was trouble. As Murdoch was coming around the bend, he lopsided and fell over. "Cinders and ashes!" cried Henry. "What happened?" "I don't know," said Murdoch. "I just tipped over." "Bother," said Henry. "I can't see." "Oh, look, there's a tunnel. Driver, turn it back on." But it was too late. As Henry went through the tunnel, he crashed into a train, and contents went everywhere. "Cinders and ashes!" cried Henry. "I can't see a thing." It was too dark outside, and the driver went for help. James gave a giant "Hoo!" What he didn't know was that he broke the coupling between his tender. James raced down the hill. "Ah!" he cried, and he crashed at the bottom. James lay on his side and felt very silly. "Oh dear," he thought. What was worst of all is that his tender was still at the top. They had also broken the coupling between the coaches, and they raced harmlessly down the hill and were safe. Now James's tender was going back and forth. "No," cried James, "don't come down here," but it was too late. James's tender raced down and hit James very hard. "Oh dear," said James. But then there was trouble. Mavis came around the bend. She was pushing some heavy quarry cart, and the stones were so high she couldn't see. She crashed into Mike's tender without even knowing it. "Whoops," said Mavis. "Sorry, Mike, but you need to move your tender next time." "Bah," said Mike crossly. As he went over the intersection, however, there was trouble. Molly went down the hill, and she crashed into Neville's tender. They were both destroyed. "Cinders and ashes!" cried Neville. "Molly, what's this? what's this for?" "Sorry," said Molly, "I didn't mean to." The turntable master began to turn the turntable. "Wait, no, my tender!" cried Hank, but it was too late. Hank's tender was destroyed, and Hank felt very silly. Douglas was coming in with some freight cars, while Donald was pulling out. "Watch your tender!" cried Donald, but it was too late. They crashed into each other, and their tenders were destroyed. "Father," said Douglas, "my beautiful tender." "My beautiful tender," said Donald. "Oh well, I guess it's both of our faults." "Hey," said Edward, "give me my tender back." But Cranky wasn't watching. "What?" he said. "Oh, your tender, sorry," and he accidentally flung it down the track. Edward's tender tumbled end over end and was destroyed. "My beautiful tender," said Edward crossly. Soon the drawbridge was up, but it was too late for Murdoch. He accidentally shunted his tender down to the water where the drawbridge was, and it was washed away. "My tender!" cried Murdoch. "Come back!" But it was too late. Gordon was busy humming to himself. "The docks," he said. "I wish I could pull the express." Just then he realized he was going up the incline. "Whoa!" cried Gordon. "No!" His tender fell off and was also washed away. Gordon now raced down the bend. "I'm without a tender!" he cried. "Help!" His driver and fireman jumped clear at the last possible second when Gordon's front wheels came off the track. Yay! As he raced through a field. "Help!" He bounced off the water tower, hit off the shed, and landed right by the turntable on his side. There, sitting there, were all of the tank engines, and they started to laugh. "Oh dear," said Gordon, "I've been a very silly engine." And he had. Peter Sam gave a giant sneeze. "Achoo!" He wobbled from side to side on the viaduct. "Oh no," he said, "here we go." And with that, Peter Sam and the entire train fell off the viaduct, and the flower cars were smashed. Peter Sam was unfortunately young and inexperienced. He had trouble with trucks, and unfortunately could never get it right. This made him even more discouraged, and he tended to make mistakes more than he needed to. And with that, he gave the caboose a little bump. It rolled up over the hill and was coupled to the train. "Oh," said Peter Sam, "that looked like it worked. All right, anyway, I'm going to go back to sleep. I don't feel too good." Unfortunately, when the caboose went over the hill, it hit the train so hard it fell off onto its side. Luckily, the conductor scrambled out and he wasn't hurt. "Watch out, everybody," and he was right. The first plane to come in was Jeremy, and he was out of control. "Whoa!" cried Jeremy, as he made a crash landing into the field. "Oh," he said. Tigermoth narrowly missed the water tower, smashed into the signal, and was caught in Cranky's hook before he knew it. He spun around helplessly. And like that, trouble struck. The coupling snapped and the train rocketed down the hill. Mavis luckily made it to the top, but the twins were taken by surprise. They awoke with a start. "What's happening?" said Bill. "Oh no," said Ben. "Look, the coupling snapped. Watch out!" But it was too late. The train crashed off the hill and took the twins with them. They landed in a field and were very surprised. "Whoa, my," said Bill. "That happened so quickly I don't even know what hit me. Oh no, the train's totally wrecked." "I feel bad," said Ben. Just then Action Duncan came flying in again, and he was going so fast that he knocked the top of the bridge down. "Whoops," said Action Duncan. "I didn't mean to do that. Anyway, I'll go fix it." Duke couldn't stop in time, and he fell off the bridge. "Whoa!" said Duke. "Ow!" Edward had pulled forward to go onto the turntable. James came around the bend, and without even knowing it, smashed into Edward's tender. "Oh, Edward," said James, "I'm so sorry." And he was right. All of a sudden, the bridge collapsed, and Smudger was stuck at the bottom. "Oh," he said, "I hit my head on the way down. Well, this can't be good." And with that, Scruffy gave the entire train a giant, huge bump. It was enough to knock Scruff's front wheels off the edge. "Uh-oh," said Scruff. "Uh-oh. Do it again, yelled one of the freight cars, and Scruffy did. Soon Scruff was turned around, and he accidentally went forward. Whoa! With that, the house fell down and hit the foundation. Of the quarry. "Uh-oh," said Scruff. "This can't be good." And it wasn't. Boulder was at top. "Oh," came a voice. "What was that?" said Scruff. "Watch out," said Thumper. "Boulder's coming down." And he was right. All of a sudden, Boulder came tumbling down and smashed into Scruff again. He rolled into a field a few feet away. "Whoa," said Scruff. "That was a close one." "Look out," said Salty. Bolstro was out of control and he was heading right for the tracks. Bolstro jumped out of the way just in time, and Captain slammed into the tracks and was soon on the land. It missed the dockmaster by a few inches. "Here I come!" "Ah," said Isabella. Hurry, said Nelson, but it was too late. Gordon came around the bend and smashed into Isabella, and she and the package went flying. "Look out," said the pack, as Isabella flopped down next to the track with the package, and Gordon went right on through. "And you don't have to make a run for it, so Top Hat will compromise." "Oh, look out," said Norman, but it was too late. Rocky's crane hit the top of the bridge, and the top of the bridge came tumbling down. Whoops, said Norman. That's not good. Norman made his way around the bend. Rocky was freaking out. Stop, said Rocky. Stop. Sir Topham Hatt, he will be very angry. I must make a break for it. Sir Topham Hatt's going to send me away if he realizes. Well, what is this? Said the man. Ah! And he jumped clear at the last second. Rocky also went off the track and took out the signal. Sorry, said Norman. If you see Sir Topham Hatt, tell him I'm sorry. On, yelled the freight cars. Look, a sharp bend. Push him, throw him off the rails. And that's just what they did. Edward's front wheels came off the track at the last second. One more giant push, and he's off the rails, they said. Madge was meaning to back up and go on the other side of the viaduct, but accidentally hit one of the supports. Just then, the bridge started to crumble. Oh no, Madge, what have you done? Oh no, said Madge. What have I done? The bridge started to shake, and so did the truck. Oh dear, said the man inside. This is not good at all. Just then, the bridge started to collapse as one of the supports fell off, and the truck tumbled in the air and landed upside down right in front of Madge. Behind him, the bridge collapsed, and the supports were gone. Come on, Diesel, let's go. You can't be late. I'm trying, said Diesel. He started to make his way around the bend, and just then, all of a sudden, the coupling snapped and Diesel went right off the track into a field. Uh-oh, said the Diesels. That wasn't good. This is easy. Whoa! Henrietta soon gave Harry a giant bump, and he raced down the line. Help! said Harry, and all of a sudden, at the end of the line, he crashed off the edge and into a field. I'm taking you to the scrapyard. What are you doing? You're doing nothing. Just then, as they came to the crossing, however, Old Slow Coach gave Harry a giant bump, and he suddenly came off the track and smashed into the signal box. Ouch, he said. That hurt. The turntable got stuck and was trying to move. My front wheel, said Paxton. Help! And just then, something happened that nobody expected. Paxton was thrown up in the air in a series of spirals and landed down on the turntable on his side. I'm going to drop you on the track, said Cranky. 1, 2... No, not here, said Salty, but it was too late. Cranky let Salty go, and Salty landed in Bulstrode. Whoa, said Bulstrode. Hello there, unexpected passenger. It's me, said Salty. Let me go. I'll try to get you to the land as soon as possible. But Bulstrode ran into the package and suddenly flipped on his side. Salty was thrown into the ocean before Bulstrode was able to tip back over on his right side. However, Salty was now sitting in the harbor and didn't feel well at all. Without even thinking, I switched us onto the other line. All of a sudden, however, I hit the front of Murdoch's goods train. I went up in the air for a brief second and then came crashing down, but I was still on the track. Then, because we had so much speed, we started running the freight train off the track. Oh no, said the trucks. The plan is not working anymore. Yes, it is, said the new truck. Keep going. We're going to do just fine. And with that, suddenly Murdoch's train collapsed off the track. Splintering wood and barrels were flying everywhere, but it had worked. And Rusty slammed into the end of the buffers. The buffers quivered for a second and suddenly came tumbling down. Rusty dangled dangerously at the edge where the buffers used to be. He was lopsided and actually was leaning over on his side between the gap between the two lines. The two crashed hard at the bottom of the incline. Peter Sam went off the track and smashed into the signal. They started to shake uncontrollably. Oh no, said the engine. It's going to fall. Watch out, said Peter Sam. Duncan, go save Rusty. Duncan quickly switched onto the other line, and with that, the signal collapsed behind them, and the track was blocked. Peter Sam was knocked over, but however, he was all right. We're going to fall, said Rusty. Get out of here, quick. Duncan rolled backwards just in time as the track beneath them slid out from under them and crashed onto the ground below. The support they had also been on smashed down as well. The two engines were horrified as they just realized they had escaped a nasty accident. As Gordon exited the tunnel, disaster struck. There lay ahead the giant heap of snow that Thomas had hit earlier. "Ugh!" cried Gordon as he raced out of the tunnel. He applied his brakes, but it was no good. The rails were slippery, and it was now like a skating rink. With a loud crash, Gordon hit the snow and landed on top of it.